Hello everyone, welcome to the SASC Fishing UK YouTube channel. Today is going to be my first upload, so it's going to be a bit rusty, but what I'm going to be showing you today is what I take out when I go fishing to the beach. I tend to target bass, smoothhounds. I do like going for bigger specimens, but my main target is always going to be bass. So like I said, it's a bit rusty the video, but we'll jump into what I take with me. Before I go, I tend to get this out my drawers because this has all my rig components in it, but I'll show you what's inside the box. So I always take this head torch, which is a lead lenser. I paid quite a bit of money for it, and the reason why I bought this one is because you can put a rechargeable battery in it that comes with it, which I'm yet to use, but you can put 4 AA's in and they last quite a long time. But like I said, I'll do a review on that if requested. But it's a really good torch, a bit pricey, but it's a really good head torch. So obviously, rig winders. I tend to have a couple of rigs made up on them already. I used to, before going fishing, make a lot of them up, and it used to take a hell of a lot of time. So what I tend to do now is I always fish pulley panels or 2-hook flapper or running ledges. So I tend to have a few pulley panels ready, so as soon as I get to the beach I can start fishing. And what I've added to the box this season, which has turned out to be very helpful, is these little boxes, which I'll show you now. So with these, that means I can rock up on a mark with very little rigs ready, get fishing, and then what I can do then is I can sit while I'm waiting for the bites. I can make the rigs up while I'm there. So I use this one for my big pulley rig with the size, anything from 3/0 to 5/0 hooks in there. So 3/0s, 4/0s and 5/0s. You've got your pulley beads, your rubber beads that glow in the dark, your bait link clips and your swivels. So I use this line to make all my rigs. I also use it as my shock leader, which is £60, 4-ounce spool. So like I said, I bring this with me. I can use this for my shock leader, and I can also use it as my rig bodies. I also carry this on. I usually use Amnesia, but I couldn't get hold of any, so I'm giving this one a try. I'm yet to use it, but I've heard it's just as good. So that's for me to make a 2-hook flapper, or a light rig up with these components here. So I've got size 1s, 1/0s, little hooks really, little, if I want to make a scratchy rig, a flatty rig, anything like that. I've got my little smooth swivels, my crimps are in there, my bait swivels and my bait clips, and then obviously, like I said, I use that for all my rig bodies. I got that to test out for the snood, which I'm yet to use, so I'll give you some more feedback on this. And then we get to the big hook system. So this is if I was going rock fishing, I wanted to target big fish, I'd obviously be using, this is an 8/0, and these are really good hooks. I've quite lucky enough to know a guy that does some online rig making, so he's got large quantities of these, and he's been kind enough to sell me them by the 100. So I got plenty of these. Like I said, when I always make sure these are topped up so that I can just make rigs while I'm out fishing. Takes the stress off trying to do it after work, and you want to just get out and go fishing. And like I said, I got all the components in here, which I'll show you in a minute, that I top. These are always topped up, so I've got these, make running ledges, big 2/0 power swivels, big beads, and I've also carried these 10/0 circle hooks, which are ultra sharp with an offset. I've got large quantities of these as well. Like I said, I'm lucky enough to know someone that can sort me out. And these are very good hooks. They're only cheap, but they're very good. I used to use Sakuma hooks, which, they are very pricey to buy, but with 2 kids at home I can't. So like I said, I can rock up on the beach or on a rock mark, and I can make a rig up to suit me for the conditions, which are essential now, because I used to get so stressed out making rigs before going fishing. It'd take the fun out of it because I'd be so stressed, but I don't have to worry about that now. I'll take them up in a minute, but that's them. We'll see what else we got now. Reels, obviously essential. At the minute I've got I'm using the, just get one hand up here. I am using, sorry, Pen Fathom 2. Obviously these are magged. Fantastic reel, I've always wanted one, but I always used to use a fixed spool, but I've just switched as well. This season switched to start using multipliers. Now that I'm used to them, I'm happy with them. So the plan is, I'm going to be having a pair of these Mag 4s for beach fishing, and a pair of these Fathom 2s for the rock fishing and the bigger fish. I also like using fixed spools on the beach, especially for bass fishing, because you can just flick it out. I've just fully loaded these with brand new line that I'm using the £19 Tronic Pro Blaze in green. Obviously the sticker's gone a bit, but yeah, it's a £19 anyway, and from what I've used of it so far, I like it. I was using the actual Ultra Cast £20 line in green, but it was giving me some problems, so I've switched to that. So they're the reels I'm using at the minute, but I do have some fixed spools which I'll show you in another video. Like I said, for bass fishing, I tend to want to take fixed spools, especially on a beach, because you might only want to flick it out into the surf, and as you know with multipliers, it can be a bit tricky just flicking it out. So next up, I always carry a pack of wet wipes to clean your hands. I also, scales, which are essential. I've been fishing for a couple of years now, and I've only just added a pair of scales to my box, which is pretty stupid. And I'll get this componentry out. In here I got a pair of mustard grips. They're good grips, they're a bit seized now, and I dropped them in the water, but I'll be getting a new set soon. Mustard knife, filleting knife. Does the job for me for what I need. Don't tend to use it much on the beach, just for the squid. I only ever take squid and blowlug to the beach, try and bait bass. Little tool to crimp, so like I said, I can make rigs while I'm fishing, while the first bait's out. Some paracetamol in case of a headache. Some Orajel, toothache, there's nothing worse getting toothache while fishing, so I've learned to carry them just in case. Bait elastics, you know, they go old now. I carry this, which I carry some bait clips in, just keep a couple of them loose in there. I don't really need that. Lighter, always need that. My spare bait elastic spool for this device, which I need to change. If you haven't used one of these yet, the best thing you can ever get for bait elastic. It self-tenses it as you're baiting it. Keeps it all clean, and as you can see, I'm nearly at the end of it. I don't think I know many people that have ever come to the end of one of these bait elasts, because they end up like that and they snap. I've just got that there for an emergency. Like I said, it is the Anova bait elastic dispenser. They're about a tenner with 3 tubes. You get light, medium and heavy. I'm a fan of the medium, but you know, I'll do a separate review on that. There's plenty on YouTube anyway, so you can check them out. And obviously that's the spare one. I keep it in that sealed bag just so this was getting dirty. I need to replace that soon anyway. I also I've got these Gemini spring bait loaders. I'm yet to use them yet. To be honest, I looked at a few reviews on them, and they do. You can bait up quite neatly by hand now once you get used to it. Baiting needle for baiting up your worms. Yeah, I use this a lot for baiting up worms, but I don't tend to use it much anymore because, well, you should get used to them, yeah. What else? A pair of scissors. Always handy to have in your box. I take these when I go rock fishing. I do mention, when I do tend to go rock fishing, I don't tend to take the box with me. I've got a bag that I take with me with that, which I'll do another video on what I take when I rock fish. So inside here we've still got, by the way, they're from, is it Dameltech? I'll double check in a minute anyway. But take some tape, always handy to have. One, put your multiplier to keep your line tight. Your rod, anything can go wrong, it's always handy to have some tape. I've also got these to test out. These were given to me for free to test out. They're basically a ragworm lure, soft lure, which is coated in ragworm juice, should I say, to give it good scent. I was going to test these out the other night on the beach, but I didn't get a chance because it started raining and I didn't really want to set up the other rod, the light rod, to test it out. Keep this open. Yeah, so I'll test them out on a video and I'll let you know what they're like, but you just feed it on like a normal ragworm, and I'm guessing, you know, with the scent they should do the trick, especially with the bass. Bass tend to go for anything with movement, but we'll be testing them out and I'll be bringing a video to test them out if you'd like to see a video. Chopping board, don't tend to use that either, it's just in there. Carry this as well, Sonic Pro. I had this for when I started match fishing. Don't tend to measure the fish either. I've only just started carrying scales, which is a bit stupid because I like bass fishing, and you'd be gutted if you caught that big fish and you couldn't get a weight of it. So exactly what happened with me with the smoothhound a couple of months ago, say 6 weeks ago. Ratchet went, mate helped me land the fish, big smoothhound, massive smoothhound, but we didn't get a weight of it because we didn't carry scales, so they're in the box now. So these are the leads that I use. I don't use any other leads. I use different sizes, but these are the leads that I use. People say they're a bit pricey, but I wouldn't use them in rough ground fishing. I got someone that can make weights, cheap weights, grip leads for when I go rough ground fishing where you think you're going to lose gear and you need to use some rotten bottoms, but they are Breakaway impact leads. The reason why I like these, because I always fish a pulley panel. You can clip it down there and streamline your bait, and it's always there, if you know what I mean. The component is always there. So I tend to use the 6 ounce weights most of my fishing, but I have got 5 ounces, which I will tend to use when I use lighter gear on the beach, targeting the bass, which there'll be more videos coming of the rigs I use, what sort of rigs I use, when I use them, what conditions. Like I said, this is nothing serious, this channel, it's just I enjoy fishing, I like YouTube videos, so I thought why not make any. But yeah, I've also carry plain legs, this box stays up. I also carry a plain weight with me. I like that because when you get to the beach and you multiplier, before I cast the bait out, I'll always cast out to make sure that the line on my multiplier, because when you finish fishing at night and you want to pack up, you just reel in quick and the line layout on my multiplier might be wrong, so I always cast a plain weight out a few times, make sure the line's nice and tight before I cast out a streamline bait. So yeah, so that's basically what I carry in my bag. I'll do a separate video on what rods I use because I am going to be changing one of my rods. Like I said, I use this with the Any Fish Anywhere 6 and Bait Mark II 13-foot multiplier. I am going to be getting another one of them in the next week or two, so I'll have a pair of Any Fish Anywhere 6 and Bait Mark II multiplier rods paired with the Fathom 2, pair of them, and then for the beach fishing, for the bass, I'm going to be upgrading the rods for them as well. I want to get 2 light rods with 2 fixed spools, and I also want to have a pair of these for general fishing, the Mark 4s, 525s. So yeah, I'll be doing another video on other stuff. Obviously I've got all this stuff to show you in here, which I won't show you today, but that's all my stuff. That's what I tend to go through. This is all my stuff in here. Make sure everything's topped up in here. If I need to make quick rigs at home when I got time, I can make them there. Like I said, these component boxes, I'm really happy with these. It takes the stress off the fishing because I can just get home from work, plan a fishing trip. If I've got no rigs ready, I've always got a couple made up, so when I get there I can start fishing, but you never know what happens with the rigs when you get there. Dogfishers can maul them, big fish can maul them. I can just sit down while I got a bait in the water and I can make a couple up to suit the fishing conditions I'm fishing in. So like I said, I got 3 different sizes of these for it. Beach, small fishing, scratching rigs, flatfish rigs, you know, targeting the small fish, pulley rigs, big up to 5/0, 3, 4, 5/0 hook setups with a bit of swivels, beads, pulley beads, blah 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 blah, and then obviously the big fish setup. So yeah, I've got options all the time and it's stress free, and like I said, I only ever use this, which is good. I've got a mate of mine who's going to get me a few half kilo spuds of this for the house. It's the Astro Ultra Effect £60 shock leader line. I use this for my rig body and my shock leader on my reels, so I'll always have this for me so I can just make rigs as I go. But that's enough for today's video. If you liked what you see, enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to see any other videos, you want to see the review on that head torch, anything else. Like I said, it's pleasure fishing, and you know, I'll hopefully make some videos along the way, but thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video.